lyrics. 08717 223344. Let's get Tommy on. Hi, Tommy.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you, sir.
Mr. Hampton, you want a conversation, you want a square go?
Oh, mate. I'm not too bad with it. I've got a mate who's got a similar accent to yours, but I think yours is broader than his. You'll have to repeat that, my friend.
I said, would you like a nice, polite conversation, old chap, or do you want a little verbal fisticuff?
It's entirely up to you, sir. Which would you prefer?
Would you tell me? You're the presenter. I'm a bit obnoxious, I'm a bit rude, I'm a bit harum-scarum at times, but you can have a bit of fun with me if you like. I'm totally and utterly bonkers. Slipping right out my dial, in the middle of Glasgow. Have you got a problem, Paula?
Oh, here we go. Not really. When a Glaswegian says to me, have you got a problem, pal, I tend to answer no and walk away.
No, sorry, don't walk away. No, I'm not going to hit you. I'm only 425 miles away from you.
Well, what do you think about some of the things we've been talking about tonight? Did you... let's have an argument. Andy Williams, what did you think? Was he rubbish? Or is he the best thing since sliced bread?
Yeah, let's talk about the Occupy Wall Street protest, shall we?
I think we should.
Who's Andy Williams? What team does he play for? Is he the tennis player? He's the brother of Venus Williams.
He plays left back for Queen of the South, doesn't he, Andy Williams?
I've not got a Scooby-Doo, mate.
Yeah,
I think we should change the protest from occupying St Paul's to occupying the Oxford Towers, or more appropriately, maybe Talksport Towers. What do you think?
Occupy Talksport Towers. We're doing important work here, giving people a voice, giving people a platform. Why should we be occupied?
You're having a laugh, mate. See, Moz D's listening. If you're just coming back steaming for a nightclub, you want to get a grip, sunshine, because when you reduce your station down to less than 4 or 5 hours output of alternative from sport, you're tripping right out your dial, you're cockle picking Francita, you. Come on, I mean, there's a time and a place for football, and I love all types of sports, but I really do think it's OTT. And your good self, you're keeping up the banner, and the other Francitas who do the night show. But the thing with this Occupy, London, Occupy all over the world, and your media, your platform now has been dumbed down because all we're supposed to talk about now is football and enjoy ourselves. While the country and the countries of the planet are led into oblivion by unelected, undemocratic banking institutions with their best friends, the puppets in government. And as I say, the media are part of this diversionary tactic. How do you plead, Steve, guilty or not?
Well, it's certainly the case that a commercial station like this is sensitive territory, but I hope that people admire, the fact that I'm not just, as some radio station was, spinning you off, and I'm trying to address the point that you've made, which I think is a very legitimate point. A commercial station like TalkSport, in the insanely competitive market that is commercial radio right now, has to chase ratings. I'm sure that I would acknowledge that, and the executives here would acknowledge that. And are you going to blame us for that, Tommy?
Is it well, but so you're admitting a part of the dumbing down process?
I'm not saying dumbing down. If you've got a radio station called TalkSport, and all of the research that you do and all of the figures that you collect tell you that people want sport, they want sports coverage, they want the Rugby World Cup, they want Premiership football, which this station has brought them, then if that's what they want and if that's what delivers listeners, then I'm afraid this is a commercial radio station. It's here to employ people, to pay their wages, to make a profit. That's inevitably what's going to happen. That's just the way it is, Tommy. We're not the BBC. We can't just sit back and collect the licence fee. And this station lives, we have commercials. It's a commercial radio station. People understand. It's a business. It has to make a profit, or else the people who are employed
right,
are out of a job, mate.
Right, well, fair dues. Now, the whole thing about this Occupy and taking over, the 1% controlling 90-odd% of the resources, and the 99% of us having basically nothing. We don't have a proper say in how society is run. We are dictated to like a bunch of little kids.
Haven't we always? Hasn't it always been like that, mate? When's it been different?
Right, but the problem is now is in this country, the recession really kicked in Scotland way back in the early 80s. When I left to go to England to seek something different in the start of 1990, there were jobs aplenty down in England, but Glasgow was still in a recession. In parts of the north, of England were in this same recession.
Right,
and
tell me about it.
the only thing that took them out of it, right, was when New Labour took to power. Now, the debt of this country doubled in just the first 7 years, and the country was in the doldrums. The working man's wage was reduced asunder. Britain was away down at the bottom of the pile of the industrialised countries for paying out working man's wage. And how we managed to get an economy going and kicking off in the middle of the 90s, late 90s, early 2000, was, and this was the financial priesthood, the secular priesthood, the financial consultants out there said, hey, debt is cheap. The price of interest is very low, it's historically low. So we were able to corner the financial experts and the people at the top and businessmen, the banks, were able to con people into thinking, well, we can build an economy on rising land prices and consumer credit. Now all of a sudden, when you would reduce the money supply by 30-40%, because the only people who have got the given right, the only right to print money in this country is the unelected, undemocratic banking institutions, and for every pound that they bring into the system, it's created as a debt to a company or a person. And so what I'm suggesting to you is when they reduce the money supply by 30-40%, it's like reducing...
Oh dear, we seem to have lost our caller there. 08717 2233. He was making some interesting points. I haven't binned him off. We've just lost him. Don't think he said anything untoward.